on the back of what looked like both absolute strength and relative strength. Those are the two probably the most important things to pay attention to on a chart. If you're going to do research on a stock going into earnings season, what you generally want to see is a combination of both things. If I don't see both, it's usually not a good enough trade for me on an earnings play. Because what you generally want to see is that the stock is trending, generally speaking, in the direction that you are expecting the stock to perform, right? So, for example, if you have a hunch in terms of the overall business or the industry, it's going to do well during earnings season. Well, number one, that should be reflected in the chart, right? So you want to start seeing some absolute strength. So meaning a stock that's trending in the right direction. In this particular case, what we specifically did is we looked at Morgan Stanley, which had been trading range bound, under this $92 range, and have broken out above this finally after a full year of trading in this range. And you can actually go further back if you draw the lines this way. So this stock finally broke out above 92, rallied all the way up to about 102.5, and came all the way back to retest these levels as support. So that was kind of our initial entry on Morgan Stanley, was that this stock broke out, it came back to retest these levels as support, and we thought that this can start running from here, right? So that's how we entered the initial position, the second position, and we finally entered a third position going into the actual earnings event. So we want to start to see confirmation of the strength from an absolute basis, looking at the underlying chart. And then what you really want to confirm that with is relative strength. You want to see that not only is it performing relative to itself, it's performing relative to the market. You want to see outperformance on bullish opportunities. You want to see underperformance on bearish opportunities. Does that make sense, everyone? Please type 3 into the chat window if that makes sense to you. And for those of you that might be asking, how did I get the relative strength? So I use stockcharts.com for this specific chart. And what you can do on stockcharts.com is you can plot any specific symbol. In this particular case, Morgan Stanley. I'm plotting Morgan Stanley relative to the S&P 500. And what this chart tells me is that when this chart is going down, the stock is underperforming the market. And when this chart is going higher, it's outperforming the market. It's pretty simple to read. Basically, if it's rising alongside the absolute chart, then not only is the stock performing, it's actually exceeding the overall market. So when the stock is beating the market, that's telling you that other people are also paying attention.